As Minnesota Vikings training camp rolls along, things are starting to solidify. Who's with the ones, who's with the twos, who's with the threes, who's looking good, and what's the pecking order going to be on the Minnesota Vikings depth chart, notably the defense. So we're talking about that today. Let's dive right in. Production value. So defensive line, left to right. If I had to wager, week one against the Packers is going to be Danielle Hunter, just rocking that left defensive end spot. Jaleel Johnson, the fourth-year defensive tackle out of Iowa, working some three-tech, as well as Shamar Stephen, the longtime veteran, former seventh-round pick out of UConn, at that nose tackle spot, as well as Fadi friggin' Odenabo at right defensive end, getting it down. So now this is probably what they're going to look like early downs. I think that it's perfectly fine. Stephen, serviceable nose tackle. The analytics say that he's not great. The coaching staff obviously loves him for reasons, as well as Jaleel Johnson, where I always thought Jaleel Johnson's natural position was three tech. They had been adding some weight to him. They had him play nose tackle quite a bit last season. Actually, Jaleel had more nose tackle snaps than Shamar last year, as Stephen was working more at three tech alongside Linval Joseph. So it's actually like a diet version of what was going on last year, where you had a hybrid tackle playing three tech in Shamar Stephen, as well as the traditional nose tackle in Linval Joseph. But now, without Michael Pierce, you got Stephen Weatherly kicking in Shamar Stephen. Nailed it. Jaleel Johnson at three tech. Backup. So surprisingly, you got Jalen Holmes, who's been working as primarily the backup left defensive end, which I think is really smart. It's his natural position. I don't think he was getting it done at defensive tackle necessarily, although he does have the flexibility now to kick inside in certain passing situations. But yeah, he's been the understudy for Danielle Hunter, as well as since Danielle's been hung up with a couple of tweaks. Jalen's been getting a lot of reps with the ones. By all accounts, looking pretty damn good. So it's intriguing getting something out of the third-year former Buckeye. Also, other defensive end spot. So Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough, who came out of the University of Wyoming a couple years ago, was with the Bills, was signed late in the season, and really was sort of like, whatever, but has been having himself a really nice camp. And frankly, he's been distinguishing himself more than veterans like Anthony Zettel, Stacey Keeley, as well as the rookies coming in. And then also backups, second team defensive tackles. You got Armand for Watts, who's going to be integrated quite a bit into this defense. I think Watts probably benefited the most of Michael Pierce opting out for the season. I think he's going to get a ton of run. I think he's going to play a lot of three tech, play a lot of nose as well. Plus, Hercules Mataafa has been impressing recently. Like his battles against Ezra Cleveland, twos against twos, have been pretty damn good. Like both sides looking damn good, and it's really interesting what's going on there. Third team defensive line. So I got Stacey Keeley, the second-year UDFA out of UAB, as well as Anthony Zettel, the veteran who recently on the Niners, notably on the Lions in 2017, where he had 7.5 sacks as a left defensive end. So maybe he gets some work there, hangs on to the Vikings roster. Also, you have UDFA David Moa as the third-team nose tackle coming out of Boise State. You got Blake Lynch, who, the fourth rounder out of Baylor, hasn't really gotten a spot quite yet, has been sprinkled in a bit as third team three tech, but that's about it, as well as DJ Wanham and Kenny Willekes, the two rookie edge rushers, not really getting much footing yet. They are getting some third team rotation in, but they aren't taking over as we expected, especially DJ Wanham. I think he may be a bit of a long-term project. Linebackers. Currently 7 on the rooster. So starting in the middle, you got Eric Kendricks, the man in the middle, future Capitan, just the best off-ball linebacker in the league, as well as you have Hardy Nickerson Jr., the recent signee, recently let go by the Bengals, had spent the last 3 seasons in Cincinnati over the last 3 years, started 9 games. I think he's a perfectly fine backup middle linebacker and special teamer. He really does take over that Kentrell Brothers type role. Also, so Blake Lynch, he's been playing some inside linebacker, except he's been playing some outside as well, basically all over the place, working with the threes. Strong side linebacker, you have Anthony Barr, the captain, 4-time Pro Bowler, as well as Jordan Fair, the UDFA coming out of Appalachian State, just absolute physical specimen monster. And also they've been working some Troy Dye in their strong side linebacker as well. Weak side linebacker, you got Eric Wilson, who also looks friggin' jacked. freaking yoked, as well as, of course, the movement skills are always 100 with number 50. Also, you have Troy Dye, the rookie 4th-round pick, getting some decent run at the weak side linebacker, as well as, like we said, at strong side linebacker. It really is sort of like ubiquitous, those linebacker positions, as opposed to just very rigid. So it is good to see some of these younger guys working multiple positions, since as backups, they do have to fill, they do have to be the Dutch boy and put the hole in the dam, or whatever the analogy is. Cornerbacks. So when the Vikings have been running base defense, which is pretty rare, it's been Mike Hughes and Cameron Tiny Dantzler, 3rd-round pick. The Needle, looking damn good. Probably your early candidate for Mr. Mankato, or whatever they call it nowadays. But when they go nickel, they have Holton Hill coming in. They have Dantzler and Hill on the outside. They got Mike Hughes kicking the slot, which is his natural position. Working with the twos, Jeff Gladney is starting to work in a bit, as well as Chris Boyd, the 7th-rounder from Texas last year. Neville Clark, the UDFA from Central Florida, as well as 5th-round pick Harrison Hand. A lot of youth, a lot of young guys just really getting after it. A lot of long, impressive press corners, just getting a lot of work, as well as Mark Fields rotating in with the threes. Finally, the safeties. So safeties have been interesting because, of course, it's Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris, the best safety duo in the league. Also, second team, they already have Steven Parker, the recent claimee from Miami, working in at a lot of free safety. Josh Metellus, Brian Cole II, the 2 rookies have been sort of, okay. Also, you got Nate Meadors, the 2019 UDFA cornerback from UCLA. They have him moonlighting a bit at some third-team safety, as well as Miles Dorn, the current UDFA from North Carolina, is beginning some work on the back end as well. So that's it. That's how they're breaking down on the defense as of right meow. Still a couple weeks to go for camp, but you think timeline-wise, next week would have been the 3rd preseason game, the dress rehearsal, everyone getting done. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement on these depth charts, and this is going to be the defense that you roll into week 1 with. So let's go. It's good. All right, but your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull us up on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.